Here we go. So forZe will be starting on the T side. We've got a very proactive jump peek across the windows of the balcony area from the likes of Gambit Youngsters. You can see they're in position looking for a rush. So again, we don't really know anything about their map pool, but the fact that they've got Nafani standing by the well with flashbangs in case there's a B push, they look pretty damn prepared.
But no B push to be. The dark smoke looks at the bolts one from the halls, and they will jump straight into the pit position. So it's going to be quite difficult for Axel and Inters. They got their backs against the wall. Very, very difficult indeed. Got to get the headshots, got to get at least one, but there is none. And there's a smoke down here on Moto, and Nafani has to be extremely careful not to go and take any more damage. He's already down to 25 health. He has the kit as well. Oh my god, getting into this site, look at it, it's just, no. It's just so awful. Dealing with this post-plant setup, it's just absolutely ridiculous. They're just everywhere at this point. And there's no way in indeed. Shiro and Super will try to do what they can, but there's so many Ts.
Supra's going in deep, so he's pretty much sacrificed himself to dying in that situation. And again, it's an awkward one. If he moves into short, he's pretty much guaranteed to die there. And again, in that situation, it's like the value of a kill, 300, value of a Kevlar, 650. Is it even worth pushing at that point? If they do any damage to their armor, they've got to spend $1,000 to buy a helmet regardless in the next round. It's one I don't think is thought about too much in the grand scheme of things. Like when something is really too far gone and not going to be recovered. Especially because they've opted for the force buy here, so they would have had an extra $650 to pick something else up if they still had the Kevlar. There we are. Gonna have Shiro with the scout Inter's pretty damn close. It makes me think Interp, which used to be quite controversial in Counter-Strike. I don't even know how to explain that. Why? I didn't mess around with that thing myself, so.
It's just like the server, your client interp. You can make it interpolate the position of a player, so you can basically see people peeking before they're actually peeking, type of thing. If the settings are wrong, but anyway, nice double there coming in from Exupower. That will lighten the load dramatically. And you can see they have full access to the A bomb site now. So it should be pretty much under lock and key at this point. And considering that Jerry's still hanging out towards top banana, that could be a problem as well. There's two players that he could catch potentially. But you also don't want to give away the AK there, so it's a fine balance. And he's going to have a fight, and Nafani's just going to run out and kill him. So, well, that's an AK-47 into the next round.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of situations like that. I mean, I suppose if you want somebody to lurk towards the B bomb site, right? If you lurk with an SMG, maybe it's less convincing that you're going to make a play towards B. If that's what they're trying to offer with that. With the AK, perhaps it's more convincing because there's more to risk. But having an AK hunt against decoing players, and if you lose it, they just take an AK is always bad.
He wasn't hunting though. That's the interesting thing, is that he was standing top banana. He never pushed in, and he was actually pushing out further back out. And Nafani ran around the corner with an eagle and just shot him in the face. So we didn't see it on camera, so I don't know how he hit that shot, or if the guy with the AK had his back to him or something, but he wasn't trying to push for the frags, I could see.
On the radar, it looked like he went to the half wall, but he was showing some presence with some spray and so on, so yeah, you don't want to be giving up an AK in a situation like that. And now maybe Gambit Youngsters can make a play. We've got Nafani with his Kevlar and that AK-47. And I'm sure he'll be looking to do some damage. He is here with three of his teammates. We've got plenty of flashbangs, and they won't be able to do anything over the smoke, maybe through the smoke, but he opts to avert the risk on that occasion. Nafani will show some presence, and the AK will be dropped. XL picks it up, but only Super has Kevlar. They have no position, and maybe already they want to consider saving this AK for the next round. But there is somebody creeping in the pit. Okay, now there's two AK-47s to go.
CTs at this rate might have, they have more AKs than the Ts do. Very strange, considering how things have played out. Almeza, he was fantastic earlier on, and we saw him on Mirage doing insane stuff. Let's see if he can hold off these Gambit Youngsters as he will play the pit position, and so far so good. Two clean headshots going his way for the third kill. Interzo doing damage. Shiro's the last one standing. And Chad was speaking very highly of him. Can he deliver something here? No. Almeza getting himself the ace. Not a bad round at all, but considering... I actually... Considering that it was like an anti-eco, it's pretty incredible that so much damage was done. And I actually loved how they approached it. I thought it was so cool. The fact that they bombard top mid towards porch side with the Molotov and the HEs to make sure that the CTs can't push or have presence there, and they all run up. And because it's a molly, no one can peek behind it and catch them as they're running up. Then they smoke it immediately so that they can then just wrap straight up arch with the super fast timing. I thought that was amazing. Yet still so much in the way of struggles. And speaking of which, we get a quick trade early in the round here for the Orbs, and the pace continues for forZe to be quite fast.
Exchange of AWPs. And Shiro has been outpositioned. That's a problem. In fact, the whole team have. forZe have made their way into the A site. So this is what I want to see. I want to see Gambit with some struggles. I want to see Gambit forced to make some adjustments, not to have like an easy ride. We need to see where exactly they stand in the grand scheme of things. And it seems like we're going to see that in this series. Smartly falling away with 4 players alive again. So young, but I feel like there are so many things they've learned in such a short space of time. Bearing in mind, I think they said they only played 2 days a week because of their studies. So to like, there's no hesitation with these things. It's like, okay, let's have a read of the situation. We're out of position. We could save all of our weapons. It would be suicide to go for this and throw it away. And they just make that snappily, move back to the B bomb site. So again, there's so much information out there in this internet era. They can quickly catch up with some of the other players. So again, even though they're losing rounds, we see promising things. And from the perspective, definitely don't want to jump there again. From the perspective of forZe, 4-0 start, really good for them.
Their pace has been really interesting because they're playing very fast, but if you see how they throw their nades as well, to support the push, it's just been so fantastic. I watch a lot of CS. I don't normally see teams playing the T side on Inferno like this, with such a fast pace. With the fact that, for example, even though it looks like it's a rush, there's always smokes dropping in these key locations. Like for example, we saw that Shiro was locked out, but as soon as that first pick went away, then Shiro is completely locked out by smokes immediately, and forZe are already on the A-bomb site in a matter of seconds. Loving the coordination, loving the utility use.
Molotov for area control and some spray towards the door next to the apartments, or inside the apartments rather. Shiro's got that boiler angle. Is he fast enough though? Well, it seems like he wants to back off. Eventually you do have to. But you can re-aggress sometimes. I do wonder if he will be the aggressive kind of sniper who re-aggresses towards top mid to get information. Well timed when a T-sider may be offering a fake, but time for that later, because again, it is a faster pace from forZe. The whole team are here. A 4th person is rotating towards B bomb site. Not sure if they get there in time. There's a lot of information caught up by the CT side. It's a nice start from Shiro, and it's delaying them somewhat. Beautiful reposition. Look at the jiggle while he's not shooting. Got the information for his team, and forZe are getting cut to pieces. Nice dancing from Shiro around the bomb site. Always nice when a sniper uses the shot cooldown to move around faster than when you're scoped in, get the information and get some cover to re-aggress once again. First round on the board for the youngsters.
Yeah, really good stuff here. You can see Shiro with a great round. It's a very convincing second shot as well, and that was just so key. And, you know, if you have a dedicated AWPer, especially on a map like Inferno, those are the shots that they have to be able to hit. Like, those are the hard ones. People up in your grill, you got to smack them down. And perhaps with that, the momentum can be stolen away, because look at this buy coming in from forZe. And I was going to say that I want to see more aggression on Banana from Gambit Youngsters, and Nafani with one through the smoke. That's not a bad start there for Gambit Youngsters. And given that the pacing that forZe have been playing with, I think it is quite key that Gambit Youngsters try not to play too slow themselves. And we'll see Shiro here, just the vanguards of that top middle position. Looks like he is going to be rotating around to the library though. They have a 4-man defense here. Because they were able to take Banana so early, they can cheat this extra player for this A defense.
Just jump spotting on Banana from Supra. He only has a flash though. If you're jump spotting with a molly, more ideally a smoke grenade, it could be more helpful. So if he does spot something, there may be a nervous rotation considering he's ill-equipped. And it seems that forZe may have some ideas to make some inroads there. In the meantime, I did say, will we see a sniper regress towards top mid? Not this round because Shiro's in a library position, but now we see that rotation. Super stands his ground. Not for very long though, but he has thinned the numbers. forZe have 3 players, still needs to make their way towards B bomb site, but one is lurking through the smoke, trying to cut off the rotation. You can see Flit just about surviving there, but I think it's clear what's happening. However, with 20 seconds left, forZe are going back to the A bomb site, but we've got an active Inters. That is a huge frag. That opens everything up. Nice pincer movement from forZe, and that frag allows them to make their way into the A bomb site, but you got to get the bomb out and start that plant because there's not much time. If he held his ground, if the comms were there from the youngsters, then who knows what might have happened. If he'd stayed deep in the site, he would have had the sound cues from top mid. There could have been time for rotation, and there would have been very little time if he had killed somebody carrying the bomb, but such is life, and we'll see if Gambit Youngsters can adjust. That might make them a little slower on the rotations in future, because it seemed like he was going to make the flank on the flank towards B. But credit to forZe as well for putting them in that situation in the first place, forcing him out of the A bomb site to cover his team for a potential flank from CT spawn with the rest of forZe on Banana.
Yeah, it was an amazing turnaround, and this is kind of some of the stuff that we would expect to see out of forZe, as opposed to maybe Team Unique, for example, when they played Gambit Youngsters. If stuff started to go wrong, they weren't as resilient, and that's exactly what we were talking about, or when I was mentioning earlier that if there's some trouble for forZe, they have the ability, we've seen it, for them to still be able to find ways to win the round. And it wasn't just that they were starting off with no banana control, starting off with being a man down. It was also the fact that their utility was atrocious. They had very little utility to work with, but they really made their positioning and fragging count. And here we go, 5-1. Obviously some guns saved. Gambit Youngsters will have a 4-buy behind this round to play off of. And forZe look like they want to go for that banana take. I don't know just yet if it's going to develop into a default, but we will see Flit at least being tasked with apartments control. Nafani with that quick play there has the support from Super for the trade, but would have wanted to get more out of that one. And now FaceCrack's just going for it. He's absolutely going for it here, pushing into the bomb side. The bomb is still in on T steps, so I think this is just their intuition telling them just to go for it. And, well, I guess they're right because they've got the bomb site. But the bomb is in spawn, basically.
Yeah, but they've got a minute to play with, and it looks like they're focusing on the rotation. It's unlikely that Gambit Youngsters are going to find the bomb based on its position, so they're hoping that the CTs will come in. And they're still on the way. They're not overcommitting just yet. We can see one behind the pillar. XC Power just sees a foot, and that may delay things more. We've got FaceCrack very carefully, gingerly moving down towards ramp to collect the bomb, and they will soon find that both the CTs are in CT spawn. Posting up once again. They have one flash for FaceCrack to come back into the B bomb site, but does he dare? He's still creeping, still unsure, but now he must realize what the deal is. In the meantime, youngsters are getting a bit curious, wondering what's going on, and there's nothing else for Shiro to do. His teammates have walked into Doom, and I would be surprised if he went for the 1 versus 3 in this situation. Unless Jerry offers him up something for free, but he won't, so again, Shiro can just hold his angle, but he'll have to fear a flank as well, I'm sure. So I like that play from forZe. Good awareness from them. Like, yeah, the bomb's down, but it's hidden, more or less. Let's try and take these players out as they focus on the B bomb site. It's like the big light for the Moth, but eventually the Moth got zapped.
Well, just waiting it out. Shiro, very important for the team. I'm looking forward to seeing this new simple business. I don't know whether Chad's just like trying to be cheeky, trying to hype it up, or if there is anything really to it. So far, Shiro's been great though. But it's for sure. So, and then it's important that that AWP stays in play. But where will he go next with it? It'd be cool to see a cheeky apartments push. Always down for the apartments push.
I miss those vintage Fnatic plays, the 2-man plays in apartments. We do see some 2-man plays, but not like they used to be. I guess before the movement nerf of the scoped and AWP.
The old Inferno apartments wasn't as bad for the for pushing. It's so flimsy now, and everything can be wall banged. You can get really caught badly in there now these days. It's a lot harder to deal with as a CT.
chicken abuse in T-spawn, and there's a 5-round lead for forZe. Both teams on the buy once again. And there'll be a 3-man investment towards the B bomb site. 4 grenades as per usual, starting to stream in. But XR won't go too crazy. In fact, the other 2 teammates won't challenge the B bomb site, but they will have some extra utility in that direction. Shiro was looking for something top mid once again, but he wasn't challenged by forZe. If they can avoid giving him something early, then life might be good for them. Will there be a grenade over the wall? Just a boost. No utility used towards sandbag, so they're looking for the element of surprise forZe. It may just be a 4-man push straight into the B bomb site with minimal warning. They could jiggle the coffin position a bit or use some grenades. Speaking of grenades, there's a high flashbang, easily avoided. And again, sheer abuse into the B bomb site. You just cannot react to this because there's no warning or minimal warning. Is that the round? 5 versus 3, and Shiro's got to run away. His teammates haven't rotated. And as simple as that, forZe make it 7.
Yeah, they're looking really good at the moment, and you can see those drills really coming into play, and that confidence is just there. I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying that. It's also quite cool to see Face Crack for me personally, just because I feel like I've casted Face Crack's games for like 5 years. I feel like 5, 6 years. I'm so sure that I don't even know what teams it would have been, but I remember doing like those old Star Series leagues with you, James, in like 2015 or whatever, and Face Crack was he's definitely kicking around.
Absolutely.
Oh god, I forget what the teams were though. So long ago. Either way, he's on forZe. And it's definitely a good brand to be on. At least as far as I'm concerned, because it's so old school. It's such an old school team. It's always nostalgia for me. All right. Back into it we go, and Gambit Youngsters need to find a solution. They are getting crushed so far on their TT side. And forZe look amazing right now. They look so good. forZe taking it slow on the banana control, just seeing if the CTs will dump utility first, and there's none.
This is the start of Inferno I want to see, as I mentioned before, because we need to see a plan B from Gambit Youngsters. We need to see them take the game away from forZe. forZe have been brutalizing them. And there is the re-aggression towards top mid that I was talking about, but I expect that we could see some re-aggressions like that later in the game when there's less time on the clock and the information is more valuable. There'll be a smoke towards the arch position to take Shiro and his information away and his fragging, and he'll move to the library once again. We've got Jerry looking to show some presence towards Banana, but he's moving up with 0 utility. So he can make a step, that's about it. Little jiggle, so it comes with risk, but... And who knows, I mean, maybe in the future we'll see like Shiro get a pick towards Arch, get smoked off, and then rotate towards the B bomb site. Because he may be somebody that forZe choose to avoid. So if he can rotate and catch them by surprise rather than just being Arch every round, he was Boiler before, then that would be pretty good as well. A well-timed smoke from Gambit Youngsters will slow down forZe as the bomb moves towards B.
I was going to say, this is going to be a very fine line here. They're going for the B split, it would appear, and it's going to be tough to pull off here. Effectively 15 seconds to plant that bomb, and Nafani's actually running away from Banana. That is quite interesting. Because of the push around our side, they're thinking it's going to be an A play here, which isolates the bomb is... Okay, well, they can't win the rounds. They've just given up on it. They've given up on it. I felt like there was time to get a kill in the plant on the B bomb site. They were just about to push into it.
Yeah, but they're waiting for the Raps to come in. But the Rap doesn't come in because Shiro's standing there causing problems. So I respect the... there's plenty of rounds for them to win. So they may have felt it was suicidal. They want to push with their strongest push with the battering ram. Wasn't quite in position, so they took evasive action. And I guess... in a lot of situations, you are going to be, say, in a 2 versus 2 on the B bomb site, so you can make those plays, force the guy in CT to rotate towards B, but it was a gamble they didn't want to take. The money isn't as high as you might think it would be, considering all the rounds they've won, so that might have something to do with it. Okay, we've got the AWP now towards the B bomb site. This is what we wanted to see. Shiro with 2, and he's got his teammates for cover, and this round has been shut down by Gambit Youngsters. 5 versus 2 with plenty of time on the clock.
Yeah, plenty of time to find something by Face Crack, and he's got deep position, and Shiro is actually creeping up on it, so Shiro should have this every day of the week. If Face Crack goes for a slow peek, he is done. If he goes for any kind of peek, he's probably done. We'll have to see if he can make it work. Nope, absolutely not. He will be eliminated. And at this point, you know, Flit, he might as well try to get some damage in there. The economy is not great for the CT side, so he will pick up the AWP, it seems, and try to keep it alive, which is a sensible thing to do as well. But he's going to be saving for 1 minute, James. It's a long time to be saving for, and I don't know that Gambit Youngsters will be all that interested in really investing much into hunting him down. So looks like there's just one player that's close to him.
Their money's not spectacular. Ding dong, never mind any further conversation. I like that he left the bomb on the ramp in case people start looking for him. Then maybe it slows them down and they gravitate towards the bomb a little, even though the time is low. You never know. Nothing to lose by leaving it there. But it doesn't work out. He doesn't have as much position as he might have liked, and there'll be a tactical pause for forZe. So I suppose their money is about $4,500 per person, so they can still buy and cause some pressure. But how do they? I mean, do they go back to those fast plays? They need to find a way to neutralize Shiro because he has begun to be a problem. The pick towards Arch a few rounds ago, the massacre on the B bomb site. I mean, they went for the fast play towards B in fairness, but again, 3-player setup towards B. And Gambit Youngsters haven't always made their way to that car position. On the previous round where they had 3 towards B, they threw some grenades with the 3rd person and then played from the site. So I suppose the timing just didn't work out for forZe. We'll see if that deters them because they might not know that Gambit Youngsters will sometimes play from the site with the odd grenade down banana. So let's see. It's an important round for the T side. They don't have much in the hole. A bomb plant will be necessary at the very least. And they'll have 3 players heading towards second mid.
And so this looks more like a regular default. The apartment's take comes in, perhaps a delayed effort towards banana, so a light investment there. Just Jerry who's looking after it, and actually, I do wonder if forZe will just decide to go in towards the A site, which wouldn't actually be a bad shout considering that Gambit Youngsters don't have much info. However, now maybe they have some more. Axial will be able to pick up 1, but how many more are behind that? It's hard to know, it's hard to say. But he's repositioned and that will help. Quick flashback, but no one to peek it to see what's going on. Just there to delay, to create presence.
Smoke to create some space, but Inters will create some space in Flit's face. That said, there is some significant revenge. Shiro just able to survive, but he's got to be scared of grenades coming around the corner as well, so he will move into some cover in the arch position. But once again, Gambit Youngsters have been outmaneuvered. Seems they are thinking about it. I thought they might move away, but while there is no smoke up, they'll have a go, but it's high risk. They didn't really have all the angles in the world. They can put a molly on the site, but they really got to get these flashes going, especially because XC Power is creeping around. The smoke will force him into the open, but there's an unresponded to frag from XC Power. Now you wonder if Gambit Youngsters are going to go to their doom. I think it's time to give up on this one. That bomb is very far ticked, and they'll move away. So it's round number 8 for forZe, but there's money for Youngsters to buy again.
It's a very important round for forZe, though, to break that momentum up of Gambit Youngsters. Also, as you say, because that money was starting to build. And so this might be a spot where it calls for Gambit Youngsters to go a little bit more aggressive, take some more initiative somewhere, and that can look like a bunch of different things. It can be a mid push and a banana push. It can be a push towards the inner side of the map, and you're taking those aggressive AWP angles either from the balcony itself or from bench in middle, or just walking down the steps. You know, there's lots of different ways to do it, but it'd be good to see them sort of just taking over the game again, just because that's a cool thing to see in a game of Counter-Strike. A team that knows how to do that. But they would have to start nowish. And they actually go 3 banana, so at the beginning of the round at least. Now still fall back. How long can they hold on to this? Oh, okay, they're gonna go straight through. I love that. Don't respect the smoke. Flat 1 flash and get yourself in there. Big win, I would say, despite being down a player. Okay, now maybe there are problems though with that kill.
3v4, I'm not sure I agree with you on that one. Flit's trying to make a difference. Exile's here. He's got a flashbang to go through the smoke should it be required. And XC Power cannot get around the corner to help his teammate. His vision has been obscured. He has no map control, but they haven't heard his scope, I don't believe. And there's no one who's pushed mid, so he's got some space to work with. But again, with 1 minute on the clock, he's unlikely to do that. You heard him scope, and Supro has certainly heard that as well. And you can see the instant response to that from the CT side. It allows Inters to make his way in through the apartment. So he'll cut off any rotation towards the A bomb site, which allows Gambit Youngsters to put 3 towards B. So really nice stuff from them. And that's why you've got to be really careful about the information you potentially concede with some sounds. Now we move to round 13, and if you look at the money on some of Gambit Youngsters, Supra's got 7K, Shira's got 8K. So you start to wonder if there's an argument to try and hunt down this last player. But they are risk averse at the moment. Will focus on building their own economy, and they will move to 4 rounds. They could still get 7 out of this half, and that would be fantastic for the squad, especially the way this has started. They are starving forZe of money, and that is helping them get back into this half.
And that can always be one of the issues, right? That's, you know, you never get quite that grip of the situation. You never really quite feel like you can take initiative in the game. And I've been enjoying forZe and how they mix up their pacing. You know, how we're seeing some of the drills coming into play, and if not for Shiro with the AWP and his, you know, consistency there, it may be, you know, way worse for Gambit Youngsters. But again, it's hard to say also how Gambit Youngsters T-side is going to look. Again, given their T-side and Dust 2 that we saw, we have every reason to think that they have a pretty good T-side and that they know the basics well. Well, fast one coming in here from forZe, perhaps looking for that B play again. There you go, this flashes over the top. It's down to Supra again.
Just looking to abuse the numbers game and make it as simple as possible, especially when they are ill-equipped. Shiro's got to avoid the spray of these players behind the smoke. Trying to put himself in a good position maybe to avoid some flashbangs as well and catch anybody with a fast play. That's not too bad. Maybe just the beeps from the bomb being planted were enough to line that one up. 4 versus 2 retake territory. They've got Molotovs as well as smoke grenades, but XyPower's got an AWP and he's getting chance after chance. Where are the flashbangs? There's one left on Nafani. Well, Nafani moving around now out in the open. XyPower still delivering kills though. Somehow this is 1 versus 1. That bomb is fairly ticked as well. Does he know the position of Fliss? I'm not sure if he does. Dropping us. Oh, that's disastrous. The Molotov is not going to be enough because Fliss got 100 HP, and that'll be an unlikely round for forZe. Again, just abusing those numbers. Gambit Youngsters unable to use the utility to enough advantage on the retake, and here we are.
Absolutely. It's looking like it could shape up quite nicely for them. Oh, a couple MAC-10s. Oh, are we going to get a balcony burst or a fast banana play? I mean, you could go top mid with them as well. I like it. I love MAC-10s, James. Especially, well, I'm pretty sure they could afford AK-47s as well. I guess we'll find out in a moment. We'll check in on that in a second. Good spirits all around. Okay, maybe they couldn't afford an AWP. Either way, I think there's a lot of arguments to be made for getting a MAC-10 or 2 and certain specific strats that you may want to run, especially given the pacing that forZe tend to have towards this A bomb side. Usually in the past, the MAC-10s will be helpful.
Slow start from forZe, changing the pace, maybe looking for Gambit Youngsters to do something risky or with a higher investment to shut things down. They have been shot by Shiro on Arch. They've been shot by Shiro on Banana. He's not holding the car position, as they can see, after a flash over the roof. Got some plants being trampled on by Inters. And he chooses to fall off. I wonder why. Moving to the pit, maybe finding some more comfort there. And it looks like forZe will have another burst with a lurker and FaceCrack and a MAC-10 towards top mid. But this time it seems the Youngsters will be ready for them. There are 2 smokes for forZe, so they can cut him off, but he's quietly repositioning to the B bomb site. And as you can see, FaceCrack won't lurk any longer, but he'll come in to join his teammates. Maybe he'll be the point man of the MAC-10, maybe not.
Here they go, they're going to make their way forward. See if they can make that push work out for themselves. 15 seconds to go, so not all the time in the world here. The pressure is high. Shiro with that AWP causing problems as per usual, but they do get the bomb down just in the nick of time. And XyPower is on the afterplant with that AWP, and we know how strong the AWP can be in these positions. He's not playing from the back of the site where typically you would maybe want to play around New Box. But this is just going to have to do, and he's now alone. He goes for the peek. Oh, he gets a hit, but down to 11 HP, and so he needed the frag. And now he's just stuck in the open, and there's nothing he can do. The defuse will come in from Gambit Youngsters. Good retake from them. forZe did what they could with you know, 2 MAC-10 setup, and they made it look pretty okay. But got to hand it to Gambit Youngsters. They managed to win the round, and such an important round to win as well, for so many reasons. One, because of how it strained the money of forZe, making this next round an easier affair for Gambit Youngsters, but also just in just them getting a more respectable scoreline.
Last round of the first half, forZe by sucks. 2 rifles and a bunch of pistols, but they've got enough utility, and as we have seen, they're able to work with situations such as this and abuse numbers, which is always to the advantage of the T side at the beginning of the round. Wherever they choose to go, they can just try to, again, take one for the president, keep that motorcade going.
Hit my microphone, I apologize.
I don't know what Dan is doing next to me. Anyway. forZe look to make inroads towards the A bomb site. There could be a fast rotation from supraROSE, holding down the arch position, or at least the information, but now forZe are making their way there somewhat unchallenged. Will they try to wrap towards the B bomb site? There are grenades going beyond these players, and Supra trying to reposition in a desperate spot, but he can't do it. He's stuck trying to get on the leaves, and there'll be a rifle collected. Jerry with a great frag, which is really going to handicap Gambit Youngsters now. They have no position on the B bomb site. They have Banana. And maybe FaZe Crack will walk into something here. Is he careful enough? Doesn't expect sure, but now they know where he is. Can he go beyond the smoke? No, but he could get a boost from his teammate. You can see him pointing at the floor. Exile will quietly make his way over there, but will he be spotted on the jump? He won't be. Ooh. Oh, goodbye. Didn't land before shooting, I don't think. 3 versus 2 for forZe. Make it 2. We got a Kobe, so maybe there's a chance for the Gambit Youngsters.
This is madness, isn't it? Exile will be going in, and that's a nice off angle there in the corner from Amazor, and he's going to get the second as well. What a ridiculous round. And this is what I'm talking about. These forZe guys, man, they've got so many cool rounds where they're just able to just bring it out of nowhere, and they have a decisive lead, but will it end that way? We'll find out after this break. We're back. And the question is whether or not the youngsters of Gambit will bring themselves back into this game, because forZe, they were great in their match. You know, they were able to thrive into some situations which really didn't seem all that optimal. And I really loved just how they managed to just outmaneuver Gambit Youngsters entirely in this round, in particular the last round of the first half.
If we look at Gambit Youngsters' first game on Dust 2 and this game of Inferno, and we can see the different approaches of their opponent, where it was the CT side where Unique started and they tried to get aggressive, and Gambit Youngsters had the structure to expect that and punish it. But forZe started on the T side, and again they just bundled in, they kept it super simple and just abused the numbers game, and it doesn't give the team time to really counter anything. They just need to deal with the situations they're in, and this is a bad situation for Gambit Youngsters as well, because forZe are abusing them top mid. There is no response to any of these frags. Everybody's taken armor damage apart from Jerry. That's one thing to note. Oh, he doesn't even have armor, so it doesn't matter so much. So there'll be no cheap helmets if forZe even survive with 4 players. Everybody will have to spend $1,000. But let's see what Exile can do. We have seen crazy pistol rounds won in a bad situation before. And how about this for a bad situation? The bomb is top mid and around the corner from mid. And there are two players right next to the bomb. And other people spotting, holding the area to make sure there's no flank, because there's so much time on the clock. Exile has a Glock. That is also less than ideal, at least from range. When you get close, then those 20 bullets could make a difference over the limited magazine of the USP. Does his gun poke out? Oh, he's going to use the smoke, so he's conceded his position in that respect. But he has limited multi-peak, but it won't matter. Flip pops out, and that's a wrap. 11-5 for forZe.
One thing you have to think about for forZe there as well is they put 4 players top mids at the beginning of the round for a pistol. It's not too, super usual. You would expect that to be at least 2 players around Banana. Because Banana is just so much more often the point of contention at the beginning of the round. So that's something that I would expect more to see on a buy round where you're trying to punish a default heavy team instead. So yeah, that was kind of Gambit Youngsters. As soon as they went top mid, they were just going to get annihilated. So I don't know if forZe knows something we don't, or whether that was a gamble, but that's a nice nade. And of course, no one has a Kevlar here, so this is going to be a fast one. They were going to run to their doom into the MP9. They go. And how come the Julies? All right, can we get any love from the Julies? Ooh. There we go. Cheeky little ace coming out from Jerry in the anti-eco.
It's like YouTube on 1.5 times speed. Super spam with Mouse 1. And there's another round in the bag. Some nice money, some SMG bonus money. But most importantly, forZe lost nobody in that round, and that is really important for the short term. If they have any hardship in a round such as this, and I have a little more to play with. We had a Nova special earlier on, now we've got the auto shotgun on Inferno. In the post-Oscar era of Tier 1 CS, you don't see that often on Inferno. He did love a little of it. I'm sure he still does. I'd like to see him make his way back to top flight Counter-Strike as well. No, he's still playing, of course. And there is the auto shotgun activated, and a nice upgrade after a massive kill bonus.
And he gets away scot-free, and that's oh god, that's a difficult situation for the youngsters. This is shaping up to be potentially a fast one if they can't figure it out quickly. They'll be rerouting themselves to Banana and the B-bomb side, but it's going to be tough, to say the least. They're going to have to just go in here. And they're making all kinds of steps. Amaze is going to hear this. He's got the incendiary in hand. He's got a teammate not in hand, but there to assist at least by Coffins now. So forZe should be okay here. Gambit Youngsters is going to have to hit some really incredible shots.
40 seconds remain, and they are still subject to the grenades. They'll kill some time. There's no gambling from forZe to look towards the top mid of A. Flash will slow them yet more, but there's all the grenades gone. Now Meza, oh dear, after all those grenades delaying, Gambit Youngsters will still be able to take the site with a man advantage. forZe don't seem to fancy it, or do they? Okay, some back and forth in the library, but they will post up, but they're not fully committed to this. They're looking for an opportunity to be gifted to them. Slightly paranoid looking behind them, but there are no whispers from Gambit Youngsters towards the A-bomb site. It's all B for them. Just their 6th round on the board. They're moving towards half the score of their opponent, so they've got a lot of work to do.
Gentlemen's agreements. You stay over there, we'll stay over here. And yeah, not too much to be done. Seeing the cross there at the top of the map, it reminds me of those nades you used to be able to line up from CT spawn. Like some of those like running nades where you could smoke bottom Banana from CT spawn. How ridiculous was that? You could also smoke Banana from top mids. Also pretty mad. now that I think about it. There we go. forZe will be able to supplement their buys all this round with an MP9 and a FAMAS to go along with some of the safe weapons. So that's not looking too bad.
Third man grenades, flashbang top of the roof to allow his teammates to take position. And forZe are somewhat light on grenades. Oh, that's a nice one, isn't it? It's nice. Good for fair chunk of damage. Face crack. How long does he hold this angle for? We've got a quick peek, and XC Power will punish. That will almost becomes a bait for face crack, but it's still danger if he were to get more aggressive in Boiler, and he won't. They'll sit on that advantage for the time being. Some jump spotting towards Banana. So forZe have more or less everything at the moment, but that could quickly change because Gambit Youngsters look to burst in the balcony, face crack jumping up, and he might block them, or maybe not, but how long can he stand here for? If there's variance to be had, one player on the floor is gone, and so is the other one. Jerry and Flit doing the job. They've got the bomb. Not sure if they've even seen it. Only Inters and Shiro remain. This is a horrific round for Gambit Youngsters. There's 2 for face crack. Falls off the balcony. Style points for that. 13-6 for forZe.
Indeed. So a strong scoreline to be standing with. And I said at the beginning of the series, forZe are going to be going into this game with all the confidence in the world. It's definitely the case that they're fighting against pretty big underdogs. And, you know, in the interview previously, I forget who it was from Gambit Youngsters, but they're saying how, like, you know, we can beat them. Like, you know, it's going to be tough, sure, but we can. It is something that's in the realm of possibility. We are skilled enough to do it. And, you know, so far it's been a bit of a struggle, but it is Inferno. I know on the desk, you know, they were a little bit worried that Inferno came up as a pick because basically everybody can play it, which I do agree with. I think, you know, you're getting a lot of money when you're designing your veto around maybe having a mastery of, you know, maps like Vertigo and Nuke and Overpass are probably some of the biggest ones at the moment that you'd like to be really proficient at. That's where things are going, but big damage here to make their way through. And this pop flash, will it be good? Yeah, okay, well that's good enough. 2 kills, and he gets back out of there as well.
Craters on the Banana position. They've maimed this youngster squad, but now to 3 versus 3. You've got the drive-by from the Mac-10. That's what it's made for. Face crack taking Banana, however, and the bomb's not even planted just yet. There's more harassment, or there would be if that smoke didn't go, if the HE didn't go backwards, but the flames will do the job. Exile will take out Flit very close in construction, but he's alone. There's a minute 13 on the clock. He's got some weaponry to choose from, but he doesn't know where either of these players are. He'll get tagged through the corner of the wall down to 3 HP. Got to be careful now. There's a Molotov on the prowl, but it might be the guns to do the job. Face crack low, but he'll finish off everybody else on the B-bomb site.
It seems like it's inevitable now, doesn't it? It seems like they're just kind of like slowly but surely getting themselves there. 14 rounds now, 2 more to go, and the money is not really there for Gambit Youngsters. They might have to just, I mean, given the scoreline, they should probably just force 2 more times.
Oh, damn, he got drilled. That was a nice flick. I think he's looking to avoid a flashbang before that, but there wasn't one. Anyway, we have Deagle Kevlar for Gambit Youngsters. They've gone for a half by looking for a meat shot for the most part. We've got Exile with the CZ75. No grenades for position. Meat shield is the operation. And they've managed to get top mid with no grenades. forZe playing passively, using range of the rifles. Jerry in the arch position. He's got to find a tight choke point to spray these players down with. Flit have to run off his teammate. So far, so good. Face crack with a 3K, and it seems that success will be very limited for Gambit Youngsters. More of a hike than a round of Counter-Strike. Inters, he could do some damage to the economy, which could count in the future. So you can see the likes of Almeza, Flit, pretty damn low on money, about 725 per person, as far as those two are concerned. So they could do some impact, some economy impact if Inters can get a frag. Okay, that's a very nice headshot. Face crack taken out. We've got Jerry peeking. He's in the red, but he can't connect the bullet. And it's game point to forZe.
Yeah, smooth sailing. Really smooth sailing. And again, I really like how they won some of these key rounds in that first half by creating something out of a desperate situation. And I love that. I love that. It's such a big deal. It's something that I don't know about Gambit Youngsters just yet, and whether they're able to accomplish similar things. And that's really what it's about.
I like that we've got the plan B on the jersey. So my question was, where is the plan B for Gambit Youngsters? And it's something we still have a whole series to find out about. So again, they look pretty comfortable on Dust 2, which is the second map, as you can see there. Terrain, the decider. But this is a very strong start from forZe. And forZe did look to have momentum on their previous game today. They've certainly taken that into this one. XP Power forced back, and that Molotov might land in time to do some damage as they cross towards the arch position. Has got the pop flashes through the door. Not sure if it went through, but there are two players in the pit position to deal with this push. And we've got Gambles being taken. Axile trying to make a play through the smoke on his own. That's not going to work out. And Shiro's on his own as well. Can't find anything in that pit position. Flip got to be careful with that HE. Somehow the bomb's been planted. They know one's on the site, but do they know where Inters is? Could he really play off of his teammate here? Now they do. Molotov into the pit position, forcing Flit to the side.
Oh, did he see Flit? I'm not sure that he did. Shiro could be in some trouble, but no, around the side of the smoke, he's going to find extra power. Flit, though, is now being revealed, his position in the pits. And he has to worry about Inters as well. It's going to be difficult to try to find his way forwards, but eventually he has to commit. Because one way or another, he's going to die. One way or another. So he might as well try to go for it and just take them out with him, but instead, no. Peaks will come in with the AWP, and a surprising round one by the youngsters here, and they had that AWP pick at the beginning, and that can be somewhat gambly in nature. You know, is it going to be the case that both AWPers peak at the same timing at the same place? And you can see here, it's absolutely the case. Amelie's making his way forwards into the crosshair of Mr. Shiro.
Still 2 AWPs on deck, but as you can see, Gambit win this round, I'm calling 10 rounds at least. Moving towards the B-bomb site, a reflection of what we saw in the first half in terms of the numbers game, but the CTs are having a better time of it. Almeza and Jerry combining for 3, and Almeza is still alive, still has position. 4 versus 2, the cavalry's on the way. We're gonna have some flashbangs coming through the smoke as well. Almeza taken out, which clears the site, but through the smoke, things will get more brutal. Shiro versus 3, trying to find a flick, but he can't do it. They have position everywhere now. We see the flank coming in from Banana. XP Power doesn't want to push too much, moving towards the log, so he's got some good cover, and he should have the angle first. There we go, straight in the face.
Yeah, great performance from forZe. It never really looked like they were in trouble in this one. It started off with that successful CT pistol as well, in my mind, how crushing that was. Just seems that there was never really a good opportunity for the Gambit Youngsters to really get into the game and